Just want you guys to check out Beaver Creek Archery. It's a one-stop shop. They have over 30 years of experience working on bows. If you need a new bow, they can get you a Matthews, Darton, Elite, Bear, or even a Mission crossbow. They have a full line of accessories, everything you will need. If you're in the Grand Lakes, St. Mary's area in Ohio, go check them out.
Alright guys, we're just getting all set up. We're back in here for the Muley Freak. Same spot I was last couple nights. Last night, right at dark, I couldn't get on video because I was packing up and it was just too dark to see anyways, but it's been raining here about all day today. It just stopped like 15 minutes before we got here. Got a bunch of scrapes out in front of me that the Muley Freak hit. So, the last pictures that we have of him are in this spot in daylight hitting the scrapes. After this rain, hopefully he should be coming in here to freshen them back up. Well, it's October 31st. The bucks are starting to rut pretty hard. A couple new bucks show up the last couple of days. A couple hammers, so Cousin Wes, he shot one here this morning. Pretty big, 11 point, I think. I was gonna sit there tonight, but I ended up coming to the other side of kind of the north section of this woods. He was on the east side, I'm on the west side, so we're in here at the honey hole. That's where I shot my doe last Saturday. We had a bunch of bucks in here during the summer, but we haven't had much since. I don't think they like the camera in here. We didn't have anything on camera, but I sat it and I seen like 5 or 6 does, so they're definitely in here. They're just not going in front of the camera. Got a lot of tall grass and a lot of thick stuff around us. And we're at a nice pinch point, so there's a couple of scrapes through here. I put some scent on before I climbed up, so our wind's blowing back to where we walked in at, so we should be good there. Last year, I think it was about this time after we got back from Kansas, and I was sitting in a tree about 50 yards south of here. I did a little blind calling, and I had like 4 bucks come to me, and they had a full-on brawl about right where this tree is. One of the bucks is actually, I ended up shooting him later in the year. I could have shot him that night at like 10 yards. Looks like I got a big old button buck and a doe following it. They're coming right down the path I walked in on. Hopefully a buck's following it. I think my Uncle Kevin just shot the Muley Freak. shot him. He's got good blood, and now I got deer coming, so. It's a big doe. Looks like she smells me, though. My wind was blowing right at him. She didn't blow, but I seen her stop a couple times, and she turned around and took off back the way they came. I don't know if they smelled me or the trail I walked in on, because they were on my trail. But my wind's blowing right at them. I bet they smelled me. Or she smelled the bug scent I put down and didn't like it. They were about 90 yards away, past some brush. I guess hopefully a buck don't come from that way.
We tried the old ground and pound to get a buck. It's one of my favorite things to do. As long as you camo your blind and real good with your surroundings, it works really good.
Oh my God, she's licking his butt. He's drinking. Well, it's November 1st. It's about 35, 40 degrees this morning. We got a rising pressure system. My uncle shot a buck in here last night. We backed out. We're gonna come back later and look for it, but this has been one of our hottest spots for bucks. He was the buck that we think was in here most, but there's a couple other shooters that are in here. So probably on for about 3 hours, 3.5 hours. We got some scouting we want to do, find a couple new spots, see if there's any buck sign anywhere else. This property's really big, and you can be 30 yards off the best spot and not realize it because of how thick it is. Well, we just had a first encounter with the triple main beam buck, as we call him. He's a young buck, but he's really cool. He come walking through right where I walked in this morning and where I had 2 does. And he was like gonna leave. And I think he picked up on one of the does, and all of a sudden he just started grid searching that whole area. I swear I turned this camera on this morning, but apparently I didn't. I did a hanging hunt in the spot where me and Faith seen all the deer come from this direction. It was like halfway between another pretty good spot, so it was right in the middle. So I just did a hanging hunt here. I seen 2 small bucks. I'll throw the videos up now. They came through 30 yards, both of them. The one was making all kinds of noise, and then the little spike buck ended up coming through later, 30 yards broadside also, and kind of went in the thicket behind me. So
Couldn't find this deer at the ground. We were looking for tiny, tiny specks of blood. I just found his bed. I didn't even know there was blood in it until about 3 minutes of standing here.
Alright guys, just getting all set up. We're gonna stay in that bed hung this morning for one of us to shoot a buck out of tonight. Today is not going as tables at this, and he's seen a couple bucks in here this morning. There's a couple good trails, so we're gonna shoot does tonight too. So if a doe comes on one side, he'll shoot it. If it's on the other, I'll shoot it. Obviously, if a big buck comes too, it'll be the same thing, but he's in a saddle. Got the lone wolf. Hopefully we see some deer tonight. We got in a little bit late. We only got about an hour and a half of daylight, so hopefully the deer move tonight. Staring at you. Don't move. Staring at you. Don't move. Should I shoot? Go for it. The buck's not a shooter. That's a drop time. That's a drop time too. We just had a doe come through, and right behind her was the drop time 10 point, and then we just had this little, was he a 4 or a 6 point?
I think it was a 5 point.
Okay, so like a 5 point come in. We haven't been in the stand for 20 minutes. If it's been 20 minutes, it's right at 20 minutes. And all these dudes just come running in out of nowhere. Oh. Well, we've been sitting up in here for about 2 hours. We haven't seen a deer yet, so this area has been hunted pretty hard this past week. This whole property has basically been hunted pretty hard. Ben set up on the south side of the property, which hasn't been hunted very hard this week, so. And last night we were in there and seeing a bunch of deer, so. And Ben and Faith had seen a couple a little bit ago. So I think I'm gonna get down here and go try to find a different spot where people haven't been hunting.
Uncle shot him in that spot I was in this morning. Shot it Friday night. Today's Sunday night. We looked all day Saturday, couldn't find him. This morning got down, wanted to go scout around in here and found him dead about probably 400 yards from where we last had blood at. So obviously been dead a couple days. Or coyotes ate him up pretty good. A lot bigger than I thought he was. Mass and palmation, but we're gonna get the head cut off, and my uncle already tagged it in, so gotta give him the head back.
We're all set up. Me and Zach pre-took down our fence stand, which was about 80 yards from here. I just moved it a little bit to the northwest, inside the woods further. I was trying to find out where they were crossing the ditch at and where they were going around the fence, because we didn't have many of them going through the hole in the fence. So I came in here and found a big scrape. There's like 3 scrapes around one tree, and that's fresh. A couple rubs. And then we ended up finding Kevin's buck in there, so glad I went in there and looked. Otherwise, we'd have never found his buck. Because we lost that blood going the complete opposite direction. It'll give us a shot, I promise.
Me? Me?
40-yard man. You missed. Aim down, aim lower. It's the same one. Lower. Aim lower. Oh, it's a triple main beam. Don't. Hold on. Shoot him. You just shot the triple main beam bug. You dropped him. Let's go. Are you okay? You spined him. You just shot a triple main beam bug. That thing's getting mounted. The thing's getting mounted. Oh my God.
I asked Faith if she was crying, and she's like, no, just like all the emotions, because she missed that buck. She's never even shot at a buck before. And she pulled the shot and missed that one. Thank God it was a clean miss. And she said all the emotions just poured out of me all at once, and she was like worked up. And then pretty much right once I ended the video, she kind of calmed down a little bit. But